Mark and Daniel were 28 years old. Same city, same salary, both making $85,000 a year. Both just got promoted. They celebrated the same way. Dinner, drinks, we made it energy. 2 months later, Mark signed a lease on a luxury apartment downtown. Floor-to-ceiling windows, rooftop pool, gym in the building. Rent jumped from $1,400 to $2,700. He told himself it was time. Daniel moved too, but he moved 3 blocks away from his old place, slightly bigger, slightly nicer. Rent went from $1,400 to $1,650. 5 years later, both were 33. Mark drove a new SUV, took good vacations, his Instagram looked successful, but his savings account hovered around $8,000. His 401k had $42,000 in it. Credit cards carried a balance that never quite disappeared. Daniel still drove his paid-off car, still lived below his means. His 401k had crossed $210,000. He had a brokerage account with another $75,000. He was thinking about buying a duplex. Same starting point, same income, same opportunities. The divergence didn't happen because one was smarter. It happened the day they upgraded their lifestyle. That was the fork in the road, and almost no one sees it when it happens, because it feels harmless, it feels deserved, it feels like progress. But in your 30s, the wrong upgrade doesn't just cost you money, it costs you optionality, it costs you leverage, it costs you time. There's a hidden force at work here. It's not inflation, it's not bad investing, it's not a market crash. It's something quieter. I call it the permanent upgrade effect.
The permanent upgrade effect is what happens when a temporary income increase becomes a permanent expense increase. Your salary goes up by $1,500 a month. Your lifestyle quietly rises by $1,200. And that $1,200 doesn't disappear when life changes. It locks in. Let's make this real. At 28, you get promoted. Your take-home pay increases by $1,500 a month. If you invest that $1,500 every month for 10 years, earning a modest 7% return, you end up with around $260,000. That's just from the raise, not your whole portfolio, just the raise. Now imagine instead you upgrade apartments, upgrade your car, upgrade your vacations. That $1,500 becomes higher rent, higher insurance, higher car payments, higher expectations. After 10 years, the difference isn't $1,500 a month, it's $250,000. That's the leverage your 30s carry. Small monthly decisions, massive long-term divergence. And the dangerous part? The upgrades feel normal. They feel earned. They feel adult. Let's walk through how this actually plays out. Decision point number 1. Housing. Christine and Laura both turned 30 the same year, both making $95,000. Christine bought a $650,000 home with 10% down. Her mortgage, property tax, insurance, maintenance, all in $4,200 a month. Laura bought a $420,000 townhouse, all in $2,750 a month. The difference? $1,450 monthly. Christine told herself, I'll grow into it. My income will keep rising. Maybe it does. But that $1,450 invested monthly at 7% over 20 years becomes roughly $760,000. That's the invisible cost of square footage. And here's the trap. You walk into the bigger house, it smells new, the kitchen shines, there's space for guests, you imagine future holidays. Your brain says, this is adulthood. But your future self is quietly trading flexibility for granite countertops. Decision point number 2, cars. David and Robert both got raises at 32. David financed a $65,000 SUV. Payment, $980 a month. Insurance, $210. Gas and maintenance higher too. Let's call it $1,300 monthly all in. Robert kept his sedan. Paid off. Maintenance and insurance combined $350 a month. Difference? $950 monthly. Invested at 7% for 15 years, around $300,000. That's not the sticker price of the SUV. That's the opportunity cost of the SUV. But David didn't feel reckless. He felt successful.
His co-workers drove similar cars. The dealership offered 0 down. The monthly payment fit comfortably inside his new salary. The psychological trap here is, I've earned it. You did earn the raise, but you didn't earn the permanent expense. Decision point number 3, the subtle subscriptions of adulthood. Jennifer and Maya both hit 6 figures at 31. Jennifer upgraded everything. Nicer gym, $220 a month. Meal delivery, $600. Frequent Ubers instead of public transport, $300. Upgraded phone every year on installment plans. More destination weddings. More "we deserve this" weekends. It added roughly $1,000 a month compared to Maya's simpler setup. $1,000 invested monthly for 20 years at 7% becomes about $520,000. $500,000. That's the quiet leak. It's not one big, reckless decision. It's dozens of small upgrades that feel like quality of life improvements. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. Most people don't upgrade because they're greedy. They upgrade because they're tired. Your 30s are exhausting. Career pressure, relationship pressure, maybe kids, maybe aging parents. You want relief. You want convenience. You want to feel like you're not behind anymore. So you upgrade to soothe the stress. This is the emotional engine of the permanent upgrade effect. Stress relief spending disguised as success. And because your income is higher than in your 20s, the pain doesn't feel sharp. It feels manageable. Until you realize your fixed expenses have quietly risen to $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 a month. Now you're locked in. You can't easily take a career risk. You can't downshift. You can't step away. Your lifestyle now requires your current salary to survive. This is where Mark is at 38. His monthly fixed expenses are $8,500. Mortgage on the bigger house, 2 financed cars, private school tuition, travel habits that feel normal. His investments? Around $180,000. Daniel's fixed expenses? $4,200. His investments? Crossing $700,000. Daniel can survive on less. He has margin. He has choice. Mark has income. Daniel has options. And options are what compound. There's another psychological trap buried in all this. It's only temporary. You tell yourself the car payments is just for 5 years. The bigger house is just until the next promotion. The higher spending is just until the kids are older. But temporary expenses have a way of becoming baseline expectations. You adapt, then you defend that new normal. And once something becomes normal, downgrading feels like failure. No one wants to feel like they're going backward in their 30s. So they don't, even when the math quietly demands it. Now let's talk about where you might be. If you're in your mid-20s, the window is still wide open.
When the first big raise hits, decide in advance what percentage upgrades your life and what percentage upgrades your balance sheet. If your take-home increases by $1,500, maybe $500 improves your lifestyle. The other $1,000 builds assets. Automate it before you see it. Because once you experience the higher standard, it's almost impossible to reverse. If you're in your early to mid-30s and already upgraded, don't panic. Look at fixed expenses first. Housing, cars, recurring commitments. Ask one brutal question. If my income dropped 20%, would my lifestyle survive? If the answer is no, you're living at the edge of your earning power. That's fragile. Fragility is expensive.
If you're late 30s, maybe early 40s, and feeling squeezed despite a high income, this might be why. Not because you're bad with money, but because your lifestyle rose at the same speed as your salary. The fix isn't extreme frugality, it's selective downgrades. Refinance, sell the second car, pause the luxury travel cycle for 2 years, redirect the difference aggressively. Because the compounding years aren't over, but they are fewer. And if you're someone who's kept your lifestyle stable while your income rose, protect that gap. That gap is your power. That gap is what turns work into optional work. Now imagine yourself at 55. You wake up early, not because you have to, just because your body does that now. 2 versions of you exist. In one version, your house is paid down aggressively. Your investments throw off enough income to cover a large part of your expenses. Work is a choice. You negotiate differently. You speak differently. There's calm in your voice. In the other version, your expenses still require your peak earning years. College tuition overlaps with retirement saving. The mortgage stretches longer than you expected. You feel capable, but cornered. Both versions worked hard. Both versions got raises. The difference traces back to small decisions at 30, 32, 35. The day you upgraded. The day you locked in a higher burn rate. The day you told yourself, this is what success looks like. So here's the question that lingers. The next time your income rises, and it will that increase buy you freedom? Or will it quietly buy you a lifestyle you have to keep financing for the next 20 years?